See me when you see me. Bye bye. Love you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Kenroy here. Now today I'm going to be giving you a little update on how the plants have been getting on. Yeah, things are moving on swiftly at the moment. It's around 22 degrees here in the greenhouse today, and I've got some cabbages which I bought from the local B&M store. Now these are desperate in need of planting out, and I thought today would be a good time to actually plant some of these out, as I've never actually planted cabbages before. Tell a lie, I think I did try planting them once, but they were completely destroyed by caterpillars and slugs. And so this time I'm going to be trying a different approach where I'll be actually planting them in the greenhouse as well as in pots to see how we get on. Now if you're new to the channel guys, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. All through the growing season this year I'll be bringing you weekly videos once or twice a week on how I've been progressing in the greenhouse, in the garden. So I hope you guys will enjoy the content. Over here you can still see my sunflowers. They're looking absolutely lovely. I mean, look how strong these are. Absolutely gorgeous. Ready to be planted out really. But the weather hasn't been particularly great. I mean, we're going towards the latter stages of April, and it's still pretty cold, pretty windy. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but a lot of my sunflowers, I got some over here. I also have some in the back still in these trays, but they're also doing really well. These are looking really well. My sweet corn are coming up nicely. I also have some tomatoes in these little container, and I think these were sown by the girls if I'm not mistaken. These are of a yellow variety, and they're starting to kick on, which is good. I mean, quite late with these. Normally I'll try and get them sowed a lot earlier. They should be a lot bigger, perhaps the size of these sunflower by now. But even though they were planted at the same time, you can see how slowly they've grown comparably. And these are some red ones. I think these are like beef tomatoes. Again, similarly to the yellow ones, quite small, but at least they're coming along. And in a week or two, hopefully they'll be big enough to be planted out. I'll be dividing them up, and once they're divided, then I can plant them off into their respective areas. Now this is a bit of a surprise. These are some melon seeds which I had. I can't quite remember what the variety is, but it's good to see that they're actually starting to come up with some true leaves. They're still quite tiny, but they haven't died, which is a good sign. So I'm really glad to see that these are on the move. I've never grown melons obviously before. This is the first for these, so hopefully they'll kick on, and you know, they'll kick on nicely. That's the hope anyway. Now this is quite strange. I've got a sunflower here, but it's got a twin head, which is something I've never seen before. It hasn't gotten particularly big, so I'm curious to see how these will progress as they grow. Okay, so we've still got our seeds. These ones are some carrots, I think. They haven't yet started to burst through, but hopefully any day now they will, as I planted them late last week. So we're mid-April now. We've got some parsley in there, a bunch of different seeds I've sowed in here. What else have we planted? More parsley. What's this one? These are some more carrot. No, this is some chard, which hasn't come through yet. What's in here? Some basil. Now I can see that the basils are just about to start poking their heads through there, so that's really fun to see. Again, we got some more tomatoes over there, some spinach, which I need to start planting out into their respective pots. What else have we got growing? Yes, so these were some cabbages I believe that I sowed with the girls, and they're kicking on really well. In fact, there's a tomato in there that's doing extraordinarily well, considering I didn't even plant it. It was actually probably just fell in there by accident. So these are still young. Still got some time to go before I start sort of dividing them. So I think that I'm going to start dividing these ones when I've got a spare moment, because they're starting to get quite big. You can probably hear my neighbour's rooster crowing away, which is something we always look forward to hearing in spring.
I hear him on the rooster.
Sometimes it might well be better to just buy one of these seed trays rather than to buy the seeds, because by the time you've bought the seeds, germinated them, you find that between the cost of buying the seed and germination time, it's kind of counterproductive. So when you got them going on sale from £3.50 to £1 for how many are in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for around 7. You can't really go wrong. You sort of bypass the sowing section and just go straight to you know, plants that can be planted out. So I've managed to get myself some kale, which is great in smoothies. You know, of course we know that kale is a superfood, so it's a wonderful vegetable for you to eat. Now these are some of what I was really looking for, which are some beetroot. We absolutely love beetroot, to juice it or to shred it, whatever. And again, this was I think £3.50. These are the traditional red beetroot, and I managed to get it for £1. So there's absolutely tons and tons of them in there. So I'm going to be separating these. So in here I've actually sowed some beetroot. Now these are of the golden variety, I believe. So again, they haven't started germinating yet, but I'm hoping that they will, as I've never grown those before. Over here we got some more corn coming through, which is looking good. Absolutely love corn. Not sure where I'm going to plant them this year, because I used to plant them where our compost bin is currently sitting, which is right there. So yeah, I'll have to figure something out. Sweet corn loves to be planted in rows, in clusters, hence the name corn rows. But we'll have to wait and see. Over here now, I'm a bit perplexed as to what this is. Maybe you guys can have a look and tell me, because I thought these were cabbages, but I do remember planting some bok chow, or as I call it, pak chow, and we love having pak chow, and I'm thinking that's what this is. The leaves kind of remind me, quite reminiscent of pak chow. So if it is, I am super excited, because I've never grown these before, and yeah, they're looking fantastic. So I'm getting really excited, guys. Over here in the back, before I move on to the cabbages, we've got some more spinach. Again, you know, spinach is just such a rich vegetable, great source of iron and vitamins, and it's so easy to grow. I can highly recommend growing spinach. You can grow it in pots, you can grow it in the ground, you can probably grow it in a windowsill. It's just a phenomenally easy vegetable to grow. So I definitely recommend that, guys. Now here we got some slightly different spinach, which I bought in the shop. Again, was £3 down to £1.50, and I just thought I'd just try a different variety. The price wasn't too bad. I got what, 6 in the pack there. These are ready to be planted out, which I will be doing hopefully today. And last but not least, over here we've got our cabbage. So these are coming on nicely. I've been keeping them watered, and the leaves are starting to, you know, to get larger and larger. These need to be planted out ASAP. Again, got this for £1.50, which is a good deal. I managed to get 6 in that one, and there's 6 in this other one over here. I'm really excited to be hopefully getting some of these in the ground. Something else that I picked up, which is some of these. Now I'm curious to see whether or not this will work. It's like a little experiment. Now these are some parsley, which a flat leaf parsley, which you can buy in the supermarket. So I've picked some of these up, and what I'm planning on doing is potting them in some soil to see if I could water them and hopefully, you know, get a bigger harvest rather than just what's being sold in the bag. So yeah, that's a little experiment that I'm going to be doing. Your normal supermarket produce that you would buy, but what if you actually put this in the soil and water it? It should technically just grow on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now over here, guys, you can see that mystery produce which I spoke about before, and you can see it's coming out with some new shoots, which I'm super excited about. The camera will focus. Let's get this on here. Mind your hands, Abs. So we've got some new shoots coming off of this strange but wonderful vegetable. Now some of you would have known what it was from the moment you saw it. Growing up in Jamaica, like I said, this was a staple. Yeah, but here in the UK, many people probably have no clue. It goes by a couple of names. We know it in Jamaica as the chocha, which is its colloquial name, I suppose. But it's also known in other parts as a chayote, I believe. And I just love to see it grow because it's such an unusual plant. The vine is, it almost died with the weather, the poor weather that we've been having, quite cold, but it's fairly resilient and it's bouncing back stronger than ever. No doubt I've planted it in this compost, and no doubt it's probably starting to root, which is why you can see the leaves coming up at the moment. So Need to just keep an eye on this one, make sure it's watered, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna, you know, manage this one. I'm planning on potentially planting it along the fence and let it trail across maybe the back of one of these fences. It needs a lot of sunlight, so I'll either let it trail across this fence here or perhaps across this one here. But I do need space on my lovely pumpkin, so it's going to be a bit of a tussle.
Pumpkin seeds!
Pumpkin seeds. Speaking of pumpkin seeds, we need to also plant some pumpkin seeds, which are over here waiting. And yeah, I've got tons of them, guys, so if you do want me to send you some, you know, don't hesitate to give me a shout. Got some flowers in our greenhouse, which is really cool. I've got a little hanging basket here, which I was going to put up outside, but I decided to just hang it in here for now. And that's pretty much it. I've got a few flowers growing over there in the back. Not even sure what they're called. They're just starting to spring through. These were some root flowers. Oh yeah, I forgot that we also planted some cucumbers. So this is the conserve variety, whatever that means. So I've never grown cucumbers before, so I'm super excited about that as well. So yeah, lots going on. Now it's interesting because stuff needs to be divided and need to be planted out, like the sunflowers. They can start going out now. The cabbages need to be divided into the containers and where they're going to be living for the foreseeable future. Now I'm planning on planting some of the cabbage underneath the shelf to see how that goes, but I'm also going to try and put some in some pots. Now I've got tons of them. We're going to have a lot of pop chow as well, which again going to run out of space pretty quickly, but that's what I wanted, right? To have the variety and to have the diversity. So that's what's growing at the moment, guys. I'm going to go on and pot some of these up, plant some of them out, and the next update you see will probably be me either planting some of this out if I've got the time to record, or I'll show you a video of what it looks like once I'm done. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you've been inspired. Let me know how your growing season is going. Would love to hear from you. Until the next time, this is Kenroy and Abby saying,
See me when you see me. Bye-bye. Love you.